Alright, this video is going to be talking about the types of unemployment existent in the economy. Unemployment is the number of people of working age who are actively seeking work but are unable to get a job. So if, say, a housewife doesn't have a job, that doesn't necessarily mean she's unemployed since she's not looking for a job. Cyclical unemployment is the only demand side type of unemployment, which is basically connected to demand. So the definition for this is that this is unemployment caused by a fall in aggregate demand. In other words, if, say, a demand side shock such as a recession occurs, then it will create less business profits, and this means that the businesses will be less able to employ more workers, so they'll have to fire them, therefore causes less derived demand for labor. Real wage unemployment is caused by wages being above the equilibrium. Now, what this means is that if the equilibrium wage rate is what businesses are able to pay to workers, but if the wages are increased above what the businesses can pay, then this will cause this will cause unemployment, and this can generally be caused by powerful trade unions who are asking for a certain wage rate. So union members will probably get higher wages, but non-union members will get fired or get lower wages. It could also be caused by a rise in the minimum wage. So pretty much right-wing economists and economic conservatives will pretty much argue that real wage unemployment is the effect of left-wing economic policies. Now, voluntary unemployment is when benefits are high enough, many people would be less incentivized to work and they may take the benefits. An evaluation point for this is that it could also be that wages are low, which would make the benefits seem more appealing, especially since you don't have to work. And voluntary unemployment is another common point raised by right-wing economists and economic conservatives. In addition, seasonal unemployment occurs when people are unemployed at different points of the year. So derived demand, as in demand for labor, is lower than usual. For example, there's a lot more demand for work at Christmas time, such as adults being Santa Claus for children. And frictional unemployment occurs when people are in between jobs. For example, those who leave school or university will technically be unemployed for a certain period of time since they'll be looking for work. So, and there's always going to be other workers who've just been fired or left a job and they're still looking for work. It could be 3 months, 6 months, but regardless, this means there will always be a certain level of frictional unemployment in the economy. I personally consider structural unemployment as the most significant of all of them, especially in current events. The structural unemployment is caused by a mismatch of skills from workers and demand from employers. So if workers have a certain skill, and they've worked in a mine for like 30 years, but the mine's closed down, and not just that one mine, but the entire mining industry, then they will have lost their jobs, and by the time that they're able to learn new skills, they'll be 50 and it'll be less easy for them to learn new skills. And a great example is back in the 80s when the mines in the UK were closed down after Thatcher, so unemployment rose in the north. This has been argued to influence Brexit and Trump's election. Now, geographical unemployment is a type of structural unemployment that is created when firms move to another location and workers do not have the income to move there, or because they have families, therefore they'll still be unable to move. And one good example, I think, is when American workers lose their jobs to Chinese workers, hence globalization, which is another thing that has influenced Brexit and Trump. Technological unemployment is a type of structural unemployment that is caused by technological improvement, which makes certain skilled workers redundant. For example, the Luddites in the 19th century who protested textiles technology. This is especially applicable now because in the American election, Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang is sitting on this, as well as Fox News host Tucker Carlson. And so this issue is quite bipartisan and also influenced Trump's win. The natural unemployment is when the labor market is equilibrium and it's a combination of structural unemployment and frictional unemployment. In other words, it's basically the minimum amount of unemployment in the economy, regardless of the changes. So we've gone through all of the types of unemployment and their effects in the present day, and I hope you learned a lot. Tell me in the comments how to improve, rate the video, and if you like my channel, subscribe.